How's it going, Gooners? Today we're going to be talking about UFC 325, Volk versus Lopez 2. It's going to be taking place this weekend. Yes, this weekend we got back-to-back numbered cards. We were gone for 6 weeks and we're finally fucking back. So after going back and reviewing the tape, it is confirmed to me that I went 9-2 this past weekend on my picks. Yes, that's right, 9-2. The only fights I got wrong were Waldo knocking out Derek Lewis. I thought Derek Lewis was going to get the TKO, and I believed in Patty, but Patty's just not good enough. So Justin Gaethje got the dub on that one. Those are the only two fights I got wrong. You know, you hate to see it. Those are two of the most important fights of the card, arguably the two most important fights besides O'Malley. But, 9-2. That's a good-ass record. We'll take that dub. We'll eat that dub. We'll eat that dub. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the main event because, honestly, these early prelims fucking blow. I do not care about them, nor do I really know all that much about the fighters. So we'll start off with the main card. We'll start at the bottom of the main card. We got Quillen Salkeld versus Jamie Mullarkey. I really wish I could do a fucking Aussie voice. I can't at all. That's just not a voice that I can do. I can say certain words in an Aussie voice, like mate, Vegemite, snikes, things like that. But all right, it's just not gonna let me watch the preview. Okay, that's fucking all right. Best editor on YouTube. All right, Quillen Salkeld versus Jamie Mullarkey. I think this will be a pretty solid fight. I think this will be a good scrap. Jamie Mullarkey's beat some pretty solid competition. He lost to Rufy. Oh, he got TKO'd by... Ooh. No, he has not beat very solid competition. He beat Bedoya, and he looked good in that fight. But before he got destroyed by Hawkprost and Rufy. Ooh. Lost to Muhammad Naimov. Beat Francisco Prado. Beat Michael Johnson. Lost to Jalen Turner. Huh. Lost to Frez Ziam. Interesting. I'm definitely rocking with Quillen Salkeld on this one then. I was kind of like, maybe it's a little bit of a toss-up. Nah, we're rocking with Quillen Salkeld. You know, he's been put against a lot, shall we say, lesser competition a lot of the times. But his performance against Hawkprost, I'm pretty sure, was his last fight on short notice. Yeah, he knocked out Hawkprost in the first round. So Quillen's been knocking people out left and right. Yeah, knocked him out in the first round. Ashmoos, that was a decision, but a very dominant decision. And then knocked out Jubilee in 19 seconds. Yeah, he's been... Quillen's really fucking good, actually. Okay, I might have to go back and rewatch the Ashmoos fight and his fight against Hawkprost. But I'm definitely rocking with Quillen Salkeld. I'm thinking probably a third-round TKO. He might be able to drop Mullarkey in the first or be able to drop him late in the second. But I think Mullarkey survives until the third round, and then I think he gets chinned. Moving on, Tai Tuivasa versus Taliesin Teixeira. I really hope we see a shoey. I want to see a shoey bad. I don't think we're going to see a shoey. Tai Tuivasa's on like a 5-fight losing streak. I know that Teixeira just got chinned by Derek Lewis. Man, both of these guys are shit. Because Derek Lewis looked like absolute dog shit in there last week, or on Saturday. And Teixeira looked like shit against Derek Lewis. And Tai Tuivasa's been looking like shit against everyone else. I'm hoping for a shoey, but... I mean, Tai Tuivasa's too busy fucking ordering Uber Eats and probably, I don't know, doing fuck all. Do we have the kind of skinny fat guy who is actually not good? Or the actually fat guy who used to be good but has just given up his career? Decisions. Would you rather have the goth femboy, or the submissive cat girl? Ooh. Decisions. I'm kind of feeling, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of feeling a shoey on this one. Either Tai Tuivasa never fights for the UFC ever again, or he chins Teixeira. Those are the only two things that happen. We get a horrible, boring fight, or we get a chin. We're rocking with a shoey on this one. We're rocking with Tuivasa. All right, moving on. Mauricio Rufy versus Rafael Fiziev. You know, I really like Rufy, and I really want him to win, but I don't think he's ready for Fiziev. I just don't. I really don't. I'd love to see Fiziev versus Benoit. I thought this fight got canceled. Did this fight get canceled? Hold on. Dan Hooker out versus... Is that true? Hold on. Out of BSD fight. Yeah, I thought I saw this. Source my ass. Off night, and he wasn't expecting Fiziev to throw in the takedown. But that really fucking impressed me. So, stylistically, I'm kind of leaning towards Fiziev, but he doesn't knock people out. You know, he doesn't beat people up like he's Arkham Batman. He's not fucking Khalil. You know, he got a TKO over Gamrot. Unanimous decision. Yeah, all these are decisions. He TKO'd RDA in the 5th round, but RDA is super chinny anyways. TKO versus who the fuck is that guy? Didn't even chin Bobby Green. Chinned Moicano, though. There's something in my gut that's saying Mauricio Rufy's going to land some like crazy spinning wheel kick, or he's going to land like a jump knee, catch Fiziev perfectly, chin him out cold. There's something that's like deep in my gut that says that. But that's literally the only way Rufy wins. I don't think he like picks him apart at range. I don't think he's patient enough to just play like a distance game. And I think Fiziev is going to get the better of the exchanges whenever they come in and clash, you know. There's going to be a lot of blitzes from Fiziev, and I think he's going to get the better of those exchanges. So I think Fiziev might win this via decision. Actually, that's what I'm going to say. I say Fiziev via decision, probably 29-28. I think there's a round where Rufy, I don't know, hits him with something crazy, might drop Fiziev, but Fiziev survives. That's definitely how I'm leaning towards now. But yeah, I'm going to say 29-28, Rafael Fiziev. Mauricio Rufy is just not there yet. All right, moving on. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Dan Hooker. Ooh. Dan Hooker's taken so much fucking damage. But Benoit... Okay. How much did staff matter in his fight against Dustin Poirier? And what the fuck happened against Renato Moicano? Those are the two things I cannot understand. Because he definitively won round 1 against Poirier. Definitely. Not even close. He was beating Poirier's ass. Poirier kept throwing all these kept jumping Gilly for no reason. But Benoit Saint-Denis was putting belt to ass for 1 round against Poirier. And then he got caught and dropped because he, in between rounds, completely lost all stamina. And we haven't seen anything like that since. And we know that he had staff for that fight. And then his fight against Moicano gets clipped, gets beat the fuck up on the ground for like 4.5 minutes straight. Can't do anything. And then it's a doctor's stoppage, which was the right call. He was too busted up. Like, he couldn't see shit. He was... that would have been like life-altering damage, career-changing damage if he would have taken any more. Because he couldn't see to defend himself at that point. But since then, he definitively beat Mauricio Rufy. Was not really close. I was not close. No, he beat the shit out of Rufy. Was it? It was a decision, right? And then he chinned Beneil Dariush in like 30 seconds. No, it was a submission. That's what it was. Yeah. He was winning round 1 very definitively, and then got the sub in round 2. Yeah. And then chinned Dariush in 16 seconds. But Prepolek's fucking garbage. These two fights, though. These two fights. Because Dan Hooker's taken so much fucking damage. These guys are the same. They are the same. Honestly, you know what? This will be a generational scrap. I don't think either guy gets chinned. I think both of them probably take career-altering damage. I think they both are battered and bloodied and probably end up having to take like a year off for this fight or for their next fight. But I'm kind of leaning Benoit via 29, or is this a 5-rounder? Hold on. Is Dan Hooker versus BSD 5 rounds? Please be 5 rounds. Yes! Okay. Oh, fuck! This is a 5-rounder. This is a big deal. Oof, it's 5 rounds, though. If it's 5 rounds, I'm taking Dan Hooker. If it's 3, I think Benoit gets it. 5 rounds, I'm taking Dan Hooker 48-47. I think this will be an absolute bloodbath. I think this could be fight of the year. Hot take, Gaethje versus Pimblett, incredibly entertaining fight. Both of them looked like dinguses out there just stumbling and bumbling. I don't think it'll be quite to the level of stumbling and bumbling. I think this fight will be more entertaining, though. I think so. Both of these guys just do not care about their health. They do not care about their well-being. They are the definition of marauders. This is an incredible matchup. All right, moving on to the... I'm picking Dan Hooker 48-47, but I wouldn't be surprised... I mean, this is really a coin flip matchup, in my opinion. Fuck! If Benoit didn't lose to Moicano, I would be picking him 100%. If he didn't lose to Moicano and get battered, I would be picking him. But there is a chance that Dan Hooker catches him really early on. Like, he slips something because Benoit's just throwing his stupid fucking, I don't know, winging hooks, his big meaty hooks, before trying to go for a takedown. Dan Hooker slips away, catches him with an uppercut, drops Benoit straight on his ass, and then we have another Moicano type situation. I could really see that happening. Fuck! Oh my god! I'm talking myself all these different lanes right now. Okay, we're picking Dan Hooker. We're not Fence Time MMA. We're picking Dan Hooker 48-47. Very tight, close decision. People might call it a robbery, but potentially fight of the century. All right, moving on to the main event. We've got Volk versus Lopez. Do I make the same mistake that I made last time? I picked Diego Lopez their last fight. I thought Diego Lopez was going to chin him in 2 rounds. He didn't. Diego Lopez, he dropped him, I want to say, in either the 2nd or in the 3rd round. And he almost finished him, but Volk survived. And then he kind of put an ass beating on Diego Lopez. Diego didn't throw nearly enough for, I want to say, the rest of the fight after dropping Volk. Yeah, his last 2 fights, he hasn't thrown all that much. He's been a lot more patient. You know what? I bet it's to try and conserve energy. Because his main problem for the longest time was gassing out. And he hasn't been gassing out like he used to. And with that, he's also been way more patient, but like not to his benefit, only to his detriment. Because he wasn't doing shit for the first round against Silva. Gene Silva was putting belt to ass. And then round 2, Diego Lopez found himself. And then caught him with the spinning elbow after they had some like back and forth exchanges. Round 2 was way more competitive than round 1, but still, he was still losing round 2 until he got him with that crazy spinning back elbow. Is this the end of Volk? Because if he loses, he's not going to retire, I don't think. I don't actually know. Volk isn't going to retire after this fight. He said so. If he loses, he's going to get a trilogy fight with Diego Lopez. He would want to take that. He would run it back. If he wins, he probably fights Movzar or Lerone Murphy. Also, Gene Silva's probably going to get a #1 contenders fight, too. I wouldn't be surprised if Gene Silva fought Movzar or Lerone Murphy next. instead of them getting matched up together. Volk versus Diego. All right. I'm rocking with Volk. I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm choosing the conservative option. I'm not going to say that Diego chins him finally. You know, I'm not going to make the same mistake that I made with O'Malley because I was like, oh yeah, O'Malley's got 5 more rounds in there with Merab. He finally gets him on the chin, knocks Merab out cold. That's what I thought because it was like, oh, 5 rounds with Merab, couldn't quite find him, needed to download more data. He had his moments, like especially in round 5, but didn't quite have it. And then the second fight gets finished. I'm not gonna. Ooh, but Volk is like 37 now. Oh my God, he's a lot older. He's probably gonna be a lot slower. It's almost exactly a year between fights. Diego Lopez had a fight between their last one. Volk's last fight was Diego Lopez. So to him, this is essentially an immediate rematch 1 year later. And he's just a year older. Fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. Diego Lopez by knockout, 3rd round. I'm saying it. I'm saying it here. Volk, we love you, bud, but it's your time to get out the fucking door, bro. You've got 1 foot in the grave. I think Diego Lopez is going to push you all the way in. That's what we're picking. We think Diego Lopez. Yes, you and me. We think Diego Lopez is going to TKO Volk in the 3rd round after dropping him, probably with a big meaty hook. Yeah, that's what I think. I think 3rd round. Lucas Tracy's not going to like it when I say that. Lucas Tracy, if you can hear me, I'm deeply sorry, but Volk he's getting chinned. All right, moving on to the prelims. We've got Junior Tafa versus Billy Elicana. Who fucking cares, bro? That ass, who cares? Billy Elicana. Is this guy any good? Who did he beat? Christian? Who is that guy? Who the fuck is that guy? He beat Gyno Aslan, though. Okay. Ooh. And Junior Tafa sucks. He's on like what, a 3-fight losing streak? He lost to Taco Tacos. How do you lose to Taco Tacos? He beat whoever this fucking guy is. Lost to Volter Walker. Lost to Dolima. Beat Parker Porker. Lost to Mo Usman? Oh my God. How is this guy still on the roster? Is it just because he's a Tafa, bro? He's 6-4. How is this guy still on the roster? Is it just because he's Polynesian and they need Polynesians? Is it just because he's a Pacific Islander? Oh my goodness. That's fucking brutal. Yeah, we're picking Billy Elicana 1st round knockout. We do not pick the Tafa brothers in any circumstance. Moving on. Crody Blundledge versus Cam Roston. Crody versus Cam. Cody Brundage is perhaps the most unlucky fighter of all time. His last fight, yeah, this is a bullshit split decision. I'm pretty sure this one was bullshit because of like a head clash. Yeah, Cody Brundage has such a weird career. We're not picking Cody Brundage. We're rocking with Cam Roston. He's the Aussie boy down in Australia. They probably want him to knock out Cody Brundage. I think he probably does. Wins by submission, wins by knockout. Oh, he could sub Cody Brundage. That's possible. Beat Petrosky, 1st round TKO. Yeah, we're picking this guy for a 1st round TKO. Cody Brundage sucks. All right, moving on. Can I scroll? Jacob Malkoun versus Torres Finney. Torres Finney's last fight was offensive to watch. That was painful on the eyes to watch. That shit, not good. Jacob Malkoun, his last fight was against Petrosky as well. Just lost to Cody Brundage. Lost to Brendan Allen. Who the fuck are these guys? Lost to Phil Hawes. Okay. I guess we're going with Torres Finney. I guess. But this is going to be a boring ass smudge fest. How are you 5'8" and 185 pounds? What the fuck? How are you built like a linebacker at 5'8", bro? Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't realize he was short like that. I thought Torres Finney was like, I don't know, at least 3 inches taller. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. I just realized my hat was kind of sideways and wonky. Damn. I guess we're gonna go Torres Finney 3-round smudge fest like his last fight. But he didn't even get the takedown. He just like pinned him up against the cage, didn't do jack shit. But he did more than his opponent, so I guess we're picking Torres Finney to do the most boring shit ever. Moving on, Jonathan Mikalev versus Oban Elliott. Oban lost to... He got knocked... No. Decision. He hasn't been finished in the UFC, but that was a pretty... I don't even remember that fight. Jonathan Mikalev. Who lost to Kevin... No, beat Kevin Jousset. Jussie Smollett? Yeah, Kevin Jousset. Okay. We're rocking with Oban Elliott just because. I don't have any reason why, but might as well. All right. Let's do some coin flip. All of these people are grayed out. Like they're I don't know. They weren't scanned into the game, but they were added in post-launch because they were a part of a roster in Madden or whatnot or on 2K. So they, for their picture, instead of showing like an actual picture whenever they got their shit taken, they don't have a picture. It's just their character creator. Like it's just the in-game model for them. That's what these 4 fights are. We've got some guy with, oh my god, some fucking cringe ass face tattoo. We've got, how do you pronounce that? Su Lang Grangbo. Su Lang Grangbo. How do you say that without? Okay. Keiichiro Nakamura, Lawrence Louis, Dumar Fan, and Sang Wook Kim versus Khan Offley and Yiza. Ooh, he had a good fight last fight, I want to say. Right? I want to say he knocked out. Yeah, knocked him out in the first. Ooh. Yeah. He had a really impressive performance because I recognized the fucking, I recognize this absolute Chad. He's mogging me right now. Just because he mogs his opponent, we're rocking with Yiza. Only for that reason. Yiza's gonna walk into the cage, hit the. I think Khan Offley's gonna fucking explode. That's what I think. So we're rocking with Yiza. I said Oban Elliott. Okay, Sang Wook Kim versus Domar Fan. Yo, Speed, why you trying not to laugh? That's disrespectful as shit. They're not even wearing the right pants, dude. These are fucking and one Walmart gym shorts. Oh my god. Which and one guy are we picking? He's not even wearing a cup. You can see his fucking meat print through, and this guy's just straight up wearing Shaq shorts. Neither of these characters have been unlocked. What weight class is this? 155? You do not look 155. 3-1. How do you have a 3-1 record and your character's not unlocked? The UFC shows 0-0 if that's the case. We're rocking with Domar Finn just because he looks more trustworthy. I don't like the way this guy's torso looks. And I don't like the way his face looks. And I really don't like the way his meat print looks. Moving on. We're rocking with Domar Fan via decision. I don't know. Kenichiro Nakamura versus Sebastian Salaze. Aussie guy versus Japanese guy. Both of them got their fucking meat prints out. Rocking the and one gym shorts. Kenichiro, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with Kenichiro. I don't know why Sebastian, the Aussie dude, was in Road to the UFC. I'm pretty sure that's like a Southeast Asian, like feeder league almost. Moving on, we're rocking with Kenichiro. Yo, Speed, why you trying not to laugh? That's disrespectful as shit. More off-brand shorts. Su Lang Grangbo versus Lawrence Louis. We're even though they're both from China, both on road to the UFC. That's what these are. These are road to the UFC fights. We've got a fuck you, Mongolian, fighting Haka in Parliament. We've got Mongolian beef versus Haka in Parliament versus in the middle of Parliament. Haka versus Genghis Khan. We're rocking with how do you pronounce it? Namsrai Batbayar versus Aaron Tat. We're rocking with Namsrai because he doesn't have this goofy ass face tattoo. What else are we doing? Okay, and we got this fight that I haven't made a decision on. Let's figure out their builds, okay? This guy's got the skinny build, but it doesn't have their height for either of them. How are they 2-0 but 0 feet 0 inches tall with a 0-inch reach? Huh? How are you gonna have them at? I don't even. They're not even 2-0 though. That's the thing. Who the fuck are these guys? Su Lang Brangbo. We'll pick him because of his name. All right. So to recap, we've got Namsrai Batbayar. We've got Genghis Khan beating Haka in Parliament. We've got Su Lang Grangbo. We've got Kenichiro Nakamura. Domfar Fan. And Mauger. We've got the Mauger. And then we've got Oban Elliott via... Okay, we got to pick how. We don't. I don't care. All right. I do not care. Oban Elliott. We're rocking with Torres Finney. Cam Roston. Billy Elikana. First round TKO. Quillen Salkilled via second or third round TKO. Tai Tuivasa. First round KO. Rafael Fiziev, 29-28 decision. Dan Hooker, 48-47 decision. And then we got Lopez chinning Volk in the third. We got Lopez catching Volk. Nasty uppercut here in the third. Volk's going to try and, go for a takedown. Lopez going to hit him with that spinning elbow shit. Hit him with a boom uppercut. Finish him. Volk's out of there. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. These have been my predictions. Make sure you like, subscribe, go follow the other channel, comment down below how you think I'm wrong, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Adios.